Chapter 2. 3 days later, Saugatuck, Michigan. Thought you weren't going, Leo mocks. Shut up, I snap, stretching out my legs as far as our cramped minivan will allow. When Dad said Saugatuck was a little more than 2 hours away, he must have forgotten about traffic, because we've been in the car for over 3. Add in the 1 hour time difference, and it's after 3 o'clock already. You could have had my back about this whole thing, you know. Chill out, Jin, Leo says, tossing his basketball from one hand to the other. You're being a baby. It's not going to be that bad. I shake my head. My brother can be really dense sometimes. He's 18 months older than me, and you'd think that would make him wiser. But no, it only makes him bigger and smellier. Whatever, just don't come crawling to me when you finally realize Dad is moving us into some leaky old building with asbestos in the walls. How do you know it's leaky or has asbestos, he asks, then laughs when I scrunch up my face. Oh right, you don't. He's quiet for a moment before asking, what's asbestos? Never mind the asbestos. I angle myself so I'm facing him. And since when are you Mr. Positivity anyway? You're going to be there with no basketball and no friends for a month. My brother waves me off. Yeah, I know. But there's 2 public basketball courts in Saugatuck. Mom said she'll drive me over there anytime. I'll be able to pick up some games with people around there for sure. He pauses and gives me one of his looks I hate so much. The one where he's trying to act like an adult even though he's only 14. I think you're being extra annoying about all of this because you wanted to go somewhere fancy. Well, we aren't, so get over it. I huff and sink back down into my seat. Of course, that's what my brother would think is wrong with me. He pays less attention to me than he does his homework, but I expected more from my parents. I thought they knew how much the writing workshop meant to me. Guess I was wrong. Hey, Leo says, nudging me, don't you want one of those old typing machines? You mean a typewriter, I ask, fighting off a laugh. What's that have to do with it? He rolls his eyes. I think I just saw one in the window of that antique store back there. You were too busy pouting to notice. What? I crane my neck and plant my palms on the window, but it's too late. The shop is too far behind us. You're sure it was a typewriter? I know what they look like, Jin. You should buy it, he says, laughing. You already read weird old books. If you get that typewriter, you can do your homework on a weird old machine, too. Agatha Christie's books are not weird. If you'd try reading something other than potato chip bags, you'd know that. The typewriter I've been dreaming of for months pops into my mind. It's black and shiny and so perfect. I can imagine myself sitting at it, plinking out the next bestseller just like Agatha would have. Of course, without the writing workshop, I'm going to be teaching myself this summer. Dad pulls into a parking spot. I sneak a glance at him in the rearview mirror as he unbuckles his seatbelt. His eyes meet mine. You aren't still mad at me, are you? Not mad, just disappointed. He sighs. It's long and drawn out, like he's just heard the worst news possible. Please don't be. Just give it a chance, okay? I clench my hands together in my lap until my knuckles are white. What about the rumors? The legends? Am I supposed to give those a chance, too? The car goes silent. Up until now, Mom and Dad had no idea I'd done my own research on Woodmore. But a good mystery writer always researches. Dad closes his car door, then opens mine. His expression is serious. Okay, Sherlock, spill it. What have you dug up now? Oh, just that everyone here believes mutant creatures live in the woods around the mansion. Hitchhikers. That's what the locals call the creatures with large heads they swear prowl around the woods that surround the mansion. Rumor has it a mad scientist was performing horrible experiments on people 100 years ago, and they became these twisted up creatures. One day the creatures killed the doctor, escaped into the woods, and created a tunnel system where they supposedly live today. Some people swear they've seen glowing eyes watching them from the woods at night. Others say if you stop your car for too long, they'll crawl under it and ride home with you. One thing everyone agrees on, they live in the woods around the mansion we'll be staying in. Great. Leo's eyes widen. What kind of mutant creatures? Like coyotes or something? I shake my head slowly at him, a feral smile on my lips. Oh no, the creatures are worse, so much worse than coyotes. Stop, Dad says sternly. Those rumors are not true. They're just silly campfire stories people around here tell to scare each other, that's all. Maybe, but if the mansion is awesome and the hitchhiker stories are totally fake, then why did the museum people hire you? I pose. Mom always says, where there's smoke, there's fire. And these creature rumors are the smoke. Question is there actually fire, or is Dad right and it's all made up? I already went over this with you, Ginny. Please don't fire up that imagination of yours and come up with a reason to panic, okay? Dad answers. I sink back into my seat, frustrated. Of course he would blame me for the hitchhiker stories. Mom and Dad think I ask too many questions and panic when there's no reason to. But I just like to look at all the possibilities. I feel around in my pocket for the wild animal whistle I got at the camping store before we left. The internet told me there are bears here, and if one of them shows up, my family will be pretty grateful that I'm prepared. Hold up! Leo hops out of the car and tosses his basketball on the seat before shutting the door. What the heck is a hitchhiker? It's a made-up thing, and we're done talking about it, Dad snaps. He rubs his temples and sighs. I'm sorry, I just don't want to start this trip off on the wrong foot. Can we all just agree not to pay any attention to these ridiculous stories? I agree with your father. Let's try to look on the bright side. You two will be staying in a 16,000 square foot mansion. A mansion? You're going to feel like royalty. Mom pulls Leo in for an awkward hug. I step away. Maybe I'll eventually forgive them, but not yet. Dad notices. He motions for Mom and Leo to walk on ahead. Refocusing on me, he makes a face that reminds me of the time I convinced Leo to eat a whole lemon. Look, your mother is giving up an entire month of tutoring to be here with us, and your brother probably could have found a basketball camp to attend. The two of them are making the best of it. If you tried, I think you'd find that not everything here is miserable. Just as the words leave his lips, the sun comes out. A gentle breeze wafts the smell of lake water past my nose. I scan the area, noticing for the first time that the street we are parked on is nice. Cute, actually. Flowers line the sidewalks and boutique shops advertise everything from homemade jam to hand-knit scarves. I guess it's not that bad. Is the mansion close? I ask, trying to be positive, even though my insides feel as black as Mom's charred cookies. Dad fishes his cell phone out of his pocket and presses the home button. A map lights up the screen. It's only about 3 miles away. Here's where we are now. He points to a little blue arrow. And here's Woodmore. A long silence draws out between us. Dad stuffs his phone back in his pocket. Did I mention you get to pick your room first? I perk up. Before Leo? Before any of us. A wide smile stretches across his face. All I ask in return is that you go into this with an open mind. Just focus on enjoying the beautiful place we're staying in and having a good summer. Deal? I take another look around downtown Saugatuck. There's a help wanted sign hanging in the window of a bookstore across the street. Maybe they would hire a 12-year-old. I'd be great at recommending mystery books to their customers. I'd even do boring work like shelf stuff if they let me. I glance back at Dad, feeling hopeful for the first time. Deal.